welcome. Hello, people. Hey, you may be a little bit curious as to what's going on right now. Welcome to Before I Go, the podcast for Before I Leave This Earth, episode 10. 10, made it to double digits. I am going to find a place to sit here on the grass. I think you can see me. Let's see. Yeah, that'll do the trick. Yeah, I think I'm mostly in frame for whatever purposes this is. My drink's over there. I kind of want my drink, but probably I think I've made a habit of drinking at the start of the podcast a few times now. It's because I get a little bit nervous, to be honest with you. I don't really know as to why, but I do get a little bit nervous. I am in Georgia, in the city of Trilith, right outside of Fayetteville, I believe. And I just toured 2 locations for my film school that we've talked about me going to. If you don't know, just bring it up, I'm planning to move to Georgia in a few months. It is March, April, so April-ish basically at this point. So 4.5 months now. I will be living in this state, and if I can be honest with you, I am scared. And this trip has made me excited. It's also made me more scared than I was before. Just kind of, realize that, I think a lot's gonna change, and a lot's gonna change. You're in a completely new environment. The people are different. The culture is, there is culture now. I would say that's a good thing. But you go from basically what felt like a lack of any culture, besides beer, and hiking and snowboarding, which are things that I don't really partake in. I like to hike, but anyways, that's kind of all Fort Collins is, and it's great and all, but I will say, this is pretty background though, right? Come on, look at that. This is a pretty background. I should really finish my sentence. I am anxious. I'm very anxious. I'm excited and I'm anxious, and I just don't know. I don't know how to feel one way right now. I feel many ways, and it makes me scared because I'm like, damn, it's gonna be like so crazy being down here all on my own, and my parents aren't like down the road a few minutes. If my parents were down the road 2 hours, 3 hours, honestly, if my parents were down the road 6 hours away, I'd be like, that's fine. Like I can do that. Like it's scary, but this is different. You know what I mean? It's like a 2.5, 3 hour flight, sure, but that's a flight. That's a different thing here. It's a lot different. You can really feel the distance. So I've enjoyed it here. The city we're looking in that I'll be living in or around, we're going to kind of search around it a bit more tonight, I believe, is great. It's very pretty. I like a lot of people. I will say the customer service in this state is awful. I mean, it's awful. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't think people here have ever seen good customer service, and so they don't really know how to teach it or give it. So, and I get it too, you know what I mean? Like it's minimum wage a lot of times, so whatever. Of course, it'll be the industry I'm working in, and so I've thought about it like this. I'm like, well, in the sense of I'll probably be a waiter, which is customer service. And I thought about it, and I'm like, I'm gonna be able to succeed here pretty well if this is what the standard is. People are gonna be like, we gotta go back to that guy at this place, that server, and that's my goal. It's like, I don't know. To me, it's interesting that there's not more people here who just tried to like enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I know life's hard However, I think it's like the one time where you get to and almost really should leave all the crap you're kind of going through at the door. And obviously you can't always do that, right? Sometimes you can't afford to take off work and the emotions are too much. So I get that. But I think we know what I'm saying here. It's a little bit weird. Anyways, I just had someone look at me. So I was like, I paused there for a second. I was like, what are we doing? The first time we've talked about this. I wanted to film outside. And the way I thought about it in my head, I don't know if I had explained it in the last podcast. I don't think I did. I know I talked about filming in Georgia. I don't know if I explained as to the special occasion, it being 10 episodes, double digits. I felt like, hey, for our 10th episode, it would be kind of fun to film in Georgia. So that's what we're doing. It's cool. It's pretty cool over here, specifically, just in the sense that just that way a little bit are like a ton of these film sets and studios. I got to go in one today that is specifically used for the school, but you can see it. It's kind of bustling right now. There's a bunch of, what I've been seeing actually in the downtown area is just a bunch of people on their little golf carts going around. Maybe I'll try and capture it for you at some point. Kind of difficult to do, but yeah, a bunch of people on golf carts. But you know how on film sets in the movies, like in the Hollywood, old film sets, you see like the little golf carts going around all of the big warehouses and whatnot. That's what I'm seeing over just across the street, which is pretty cool. We got some, what would we like to call this, ambience, some city ambience. If you ask me, I can hear it right now coming through the headphones. I think it sounds pretty cool, but maybe that's just me. I wish I could get an idea of what this framing looks like. I can kind of see it. I have to admit, I feel like it looks pretty artsy right now, but it'll be really funny if I go and look at this later, or if I don't look at it later, which I don't know why I wouldn't, when I start to edit and see this, and I'm like, wow, that was terrible framing. This looks awful. It should be flat though. I don't have a tripod. I didn't have space to. We took Frontier. Big mistake, really big mistake. And I don't need to say that for you to know it was a big mistake. If I told you I took Frontier, you might have even just said in your head, oof, ugh, mistake. Trying to save some money, you know what I mean? Ended up not saving money. We probably should have just taken like a Southwest or something. Get to the line, we were told, hey, you can bring on like a backpack. If you bring anything more, you gotta get it checked. So we're wearing like regular backpacks like you would wear to school. And you get up to the line and they're like, hey, if we ask you to check your bag, see if it fits in the thing, and it doesn't fit, you're gonna have to pay for it. And so we get through them. They asked my mom to check her bag. I don't know if they asked me to check my bag, but we just said one bag. But yeah, I say we said one bag because we check it. Of course, it doesn't fit. My backpack wouldn't have fit either. He says it's gonna be $45. Okay, fine, that sucks, but whatever. Get over there. That's gonna be $100. What? My mom said he just said it was $100, and then they got all pissed off at my mom. The Frontier people got all pissed off at her, and they're like, they look over at the guy and they're like, did you tell her it was $45? And he said, I didn't even say nothing to you, bruh. He said that. Imagine being at Panera and you're like, well, he said my food would be out and with this and maybe, I don't know. He said my food would be out with a bag of chips and this is a piece of bread. You go over to him, to the guy, Brian, did you tell her that, and this is how this white chick talks. Brian, did you tell her that it would be out with the chips? I didn't even ever talk to you, bruh. You'd be like, what's going on? You're calling me bruh? And tell me you never talked to me? I just watched you talk to me and tell me it was $45. So that was just frustrating. It was less like, okay, I get a policy, it has to be this, I guess, this price. Fine. But it was really just like you don't call customers, bruh. So that was how the trip started. The flight was good, it was fine. It was short actually, which was nice. Get here, land, get the car. The roads here are crazy, dude. They're insane. It's so much merging here, getting off there, turn there, merge back onto here. And that's not even a joke. you're hardly, like when I travel in Colorado, you get onto I-25 and then you're on I-25 till you exit, or you get onto I-25 for a long while and then you get onto I-70, and like that's like those are like the roads you're on, and then you get off onto your exit. So it's just crazy here as far as driving goes, but I'm not like worried about that at all. I just felt my butt. I realized you could see me do that. I feel like this grass is like ever so slightly moist, and so I was like, is my butt wet? And I think the answer is yes. So, but anyways, I'll kind of walk you through what I'm going through, what I'm feeling right now. So we saw 2 studios today, OFS Studios and Trilith Studios. I'm in Trilith right now. OFS Studios is okay. I was not like impressed with the campus. I thought it was kind of dumpy, but you know, it got the trick done for them, and at the end of the day, it wouldn't change too much. But I knew that wasn't probably where I was going to go. I had thought about it before, but we had kind of heard from other people who are within the program and just whatnot that Trilith is really cool. You just hear a lot of cool things and good things about Trilith, and I get it. I think OFS Studios probably has some cool things filmed over there occasionally, but there's a lot going on at Trilith. There's Disney stuff and Marvel stuff that's gone on there multiple times before. Stranger Things has been filmed there, stuff like that. And it's a pretty good sized little studio, I would say. I that's just kind of a complete guess. You know, the thing is I'm seeing all of this stuff for the first time. We're the only people from out of state here, by the way, which I find to be, sorry, I'm trying to see where the heck I am. I like, all of a sudden, I feel like I disappeared off of my camera here. I don't even see my hands moving. Let's see where the heck I am. Anyways, did my thing turn off? Am I out of storage? The card is full. Oh, well, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how long that was going on for. Sorry about it, people. We're back, though. Ooh, that'll do. All right. Filming again. Make sure we're filming on this thing here. Okay. I don't know how long we've been dealing with a black screen for. I will throw something up so it's not just a black screen for you. I will figure that out. But yeah, it's been very interesting here. It's cool. But yeah, I got to see stuff. They made like a little Wednesday Addams mock set at the OFS Studios and here at Trilith Studios, which is a lot nicer. I think we got to see some like room from Ghostbusters or something like that. I don't know, that they remade. They like to like recreate a lot of sets from movies, which I guess is cool. It's probably cool for the people who like construct the sets and whatnot. I don't think that's something I want to go into, but that's fine. I think it's more interesting to make your own sets, but to be fair, it's like reconstructing something is a cool thing as well. Anyways, it's been a lot to take in. I am anxious now. I've been anxious most of this trip, and I've been excited most of this trip. It's a lot. But I know it's what I want to do, and it's what I have to do. You know what I mean? Like, if this was in Colorado, obviously I'd stay in Colorado. But it's not. Everything's here. And so here we are doing a podcast in the middle of some courtyard, maybe? And just thinking about it all. It's a cool little city, little town. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know what to say right now. Like, I am overwhelmed, is the frank truth of things. And it's becoming more of a reality, like, wow, this is like, it'll be interesting. I would like to come back here and revisit this exact spot here in a few months and record another podcast here and be like, all right, so I've been here for, we'll say like, maybe I record in like December or November or something. Been here for a few months now. Let's compare it to how I was feeling maybe at the first, podcast from when I moved here versus like this podcast. So I'm nervous. I am. But I really do want to do this. And it's just a lot. You got to grow up. You got to fly out the nest. And I have always been one who's been a homebody, loves his mom and dad, would live with them forever, but that wouldn't be good at the end of the day. And so I'm glad I'm getting out of my box here eventually. So, yep. I'm also looking at a person right now who looks like Jack Black. Now, is the real question. We are in Movie Hub. I don't think it is. But maybe, I don't know. Ask him to join. Yep. I had a $9 homemade Hot Pocket today. Not worth $9. It was good though. I would eat that again. This little city is very nice in a couple of parts, and I think that's partly because when people come here to film movies and whatnot, they probably stay in the actors and whatnot, probably stay in some of these nice houses and other things and whatnot. And I don't blame them. And the $9 Hot Pocket makes sense because, you know, the people who live here are clearly wealthy people. So that's, yeah. When I was on a meeting for this, learning about this, it was like a learning meeting. Like, they're like, you're not going to be able to live in the city of Charlotte. That's literally what she said. She's like, you're not going to. I was like, okay. It's expensive. I get it. I probably won't. No, I'm pretty sure this place is bougie. But who's to say? Who's to say? I'm just sitting here, man. I'm enjoying this. It's a nice little break. You know, my mom and I have been just kind of with each other going hard in the paint, as they would say, and I love my mom. I'm glad she's here with me. I appreciate her so much. We both need a little second from each other, I think. It just, anytime you're traveling with family, it's a lot. And especially when it's just one-on-one like this and we can't like get it a second from each other, it's a lot. I called my friend Ian last night. We talked on the phone for a bit. Before that, I called my birthday girl, Melanie. Melanie's birthday, my girlfriend. Her birthday is today. It's the first time, I know I burped, the first time I've ever been away from Melanie on her birthday. But we've done that before. She's had to go away on my birthday, and that's cool. We're living, we had a great, let me talk about that. That's something I want to talk about right now, is our birthday celebration. That was fun. Saturday before I left, we left Sunday morning. I woke up at 3:45 in the morning, 3:40 in the morning actually. That was tough. Anyways, Saturday we had a great day. We went to her work. She coaches, and so that's something I can go on and watch. It's kind of low key. She's like the top coach there. Anyways, I was like one of the main coaches there, is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, so yeah, she's there. She coached, and I got to watch her coach her kids, which is a really cool experience. Just I coach as well. I do it on a volunteer base. She gets paid a good lump sum of money to do it, which deservingly so. One of the best vaulters in the country. It makes sense. I am not one of the best football players in the country, so I don't necessarily think I would be qualified to get paid to coach football. Anyways, we did that because we just kind of had to. She had to do it, and I'm glad she did. I'm sure her athletes are as well. Anyways, so there's that. By the way, it smells fire out here. It's spring here, which is nice. I'm sitting in the sun. I love spring, and it is spring here. You can smell the grass and the flowers. I can't wait till spring in Colorado. My last spring in Colorado, that's crazy. I'm gonna take that one in. I know I'm bouncing all over the place. You'll have to forgive me. I'm running off of probably not much sleep and just overwhelmed with emotions and feels and just everything. Customer service here, once again, hasn't helped with that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they don't make you, they're like, just get out of my face. So that'll be something to get used to. We did that. Then we went to Krispy Kreme. I had Krispy Kreme for the first time. I thought it was Melanie's first time as well. I was like, do you want to get a Krispy Kreme yet? And she's like, no. Because I guess she's been before. But we don't have any Krispy Kremes nearby in Fort Collins, but where she coaches at 45, 50 minutes away, another 20 minutes, we're here. Where she coaches is here. Krispy Kreme's like a little bit more down that way. So maybe an hour away or so is Krispy Kreme. Holy crap, dude. Like, we have our Lamar's Donuts. It's like, I think it was founded in Wichita. There's not many. It's not a very popular chain at all. It might even be franchised. I'm not sure. It's good. I always thought, like, oh, these are great donuts. These are the best donuts, right? And they are good. Krispy Kreme, though, oh my goodness, dude. I was like, this is the best donut I've ever had. It melts in your mouth. I was like, this is like one of the most perfect donuts in the world. So it was really good. I got 2 donuts. We had the original glaze because we got 3 of those free for her birthday. And then we got a strawberry glazed donut. And what they do is they glaze the donut and then they put the frosting on. So like the original glaze is just a glazed donut. It's whatever. It's fine. It's good. But the strawberry glaze, they glazed the donut and then they put the strawberry frosting on it. So it was great. I just had someone stare at me like, what are you doing? What are we doing right now? I guess I'm recording a podcast, as simple as it is. I hear some people talking, you do too. There they are, they were walking that way. Wow. And now there is a girl dressed head to toe in pink. She has got a pink running jacket on, we can hear her talking. Pink yoga pants on, green shoes, and then like a pink headband. That's crazy. Head to toe in pink. Yeah, it was a great donut. Then we got home. I'm like, you gotta take a shower. She smelled like a horse. Let's just be honest. Let's just say how it is. You work around horses, you smell like a horse. And she did like a mini workout before as well. So she got freshened up for her birthday. I went home, grabbed I'll send some pictures of this too. Golden inflated happy birthday sign. And I had her dad help me set it up, got all the presents set out and whatnot. We opened a few of those. Then we took her cat on a walk. That went terribly. Her cat goes on walks. He does good sometimes. He didn't do good that time. That was a lot. It wasn't really stressful for me because there's not much I can do. But it was stressful for Melanie, obviously. So that was unfortunate. But it is what it was. Then we got home and we went to Build-A-Bear. And I haven't been to Build-A-Bear since I was a young kid. And so it was really cool to go in there. The girl working there was awesome. I'm meaning to write a review about her. Just like send an email into their customer service because then those people usually see it. And it's good for them. And yeah, I mean, she deserves it. She did awesome. We did like a little heart ceremony. She's like, you have to like put the heart in the Build-A-Bear if you didn't know. So you take the little heart, you touch it here and you touch it there. And she's like, now give it a pulse and then you put it in there. And then she did the whole thing with us. She asked if we wanted to do it because she's like, you guys are kind of a little bit older than the other clientele here. And we did do it, and it was fun. It was a great thing to do with her. It was just kind of like reliving childhood a little bit. So that was fun. We did that. Yeah, we thoroughly enjoyed it. She got a little Texas Longhorn, and she bought him a gray hoodie. And we also put like you can put sounds in them. And you can make it say something from someone, or you can make it, doing if it's selected sounds. We decided to do a feel, actually. It does like a little heart pulse, so that was cool. That was cool for sure. Anyways, I'm just like looking around right now, by the way. Someone just went by one of those little carts. And then there was a little girl going on her electric scooter. It's like, this is crazy, a crazy little city. I've never seen nothing like this before. And then we did the epic fast food haul. An entree from one place, a side from another place, another side from another place, and a drink from another place. So we visited 4 fast food places. We got a burger from Freddy's. We got fries from Arby's. We got nuggets from Chick-fil-A and a Baja Blast from Taco Bell. So that was awesome. That was great. I came up with that idea. I just kind of on my own. I'm sure it's been done before, but I just kind of thought of it like, oh yeah, like this seems like something I would have seen on YouTube back in the day. I'm gonna come over here and make sure we're still good and recording because I want to make sure we're all set. We are. We're doing good. Hey, how we doing? Do I look good? I know I do. I don't have to ask you. Oh, where am I? I can like get like an idea of where I am when I wave my hands in the air. Otherwise, I can't really see myself. So that was really dope. And we went and pulled over and got to eat our dinner there on Loveland Lake, kind of where my dad grew up. It was pretty. We saw a water moccasin in the water. A giant snake was moving in the water, and that was pretty cool. Yeah, and we took a picture out there in the sunset. It was a really nice sunset. It was a great day. Her birthday is almost never nice out, and that would be the same today. In Colorado, it's not nice. So today's her real birthday, but you know, we celebrated on a day when it was nice. So that's what counts. We got home, we did some more presents, and then we went out and got a shake. And then we came home and walked her dog, and that was it. And then I got up that next morning, baby. But that was a special experience for me. I needed that with her. And I just really wanted to celebrate her, and it's just something I needed. It was a good bonding time with my girlfriend. So I miss her. Of course, I'm only gone for a little bit, but I do miss her. I'm very glad that, I don't know if I had said this last time, but Melanie is going to University of Georgia in Athens. So we will be about 45 minutes to an hour away from each other, which is probably an hour 15, I mean. I don't think 45 minutes is realistic. So that'll be something. We're already 45 minutes away where we are now, so I don't think it'll be too much of an adjustment, but it'll definitely be something, especially with the crazy driving here. But just glad I'll have someone here. You know what I mean? I am. It would be hard to do this without anyone. I would do this, but it sure makes it a lot easier when your girlfriend wants to be here too and has made a decision for herself to go to her dream school. So, pretty cool. But yeah, it was a good day. I enjoyed that. Now, after this, we should be leaving here pretty soon. Right after this podcast, we're going to head out. I told my mom, I said, we got to stop at Tim Hortons because apparently there's a Tim Hortons here, and I've never been to one because I thought they only ever existed in Canada. I knew there was like a few in like New York area and whatnot, but we're like down south. But there's a Tim Hortons I saw, and I was like, we gotta go. There's a Tim Hortons here. We gotta go. I can't not experience a Tim Hortons once in my life. So, gonna do that. I'm gonna get myself a decaf coffee from Tim Hortons and some donut holes because I heard the donut holes are pretty good there. So I'm sure it'll be very regular. It's just a donut and coffee place, but it's the idea that it's Tim Hortons. Like I gotta go. Obviously, I've heard about it before from like Canadian YouTubers and whatnot. So. Gotta check it out. I really want to go to the very first Chick-fil-A. Apparently that's here in Georgia as well. I don't know if we'll have time for that. There's a lot of things I'd like to do. We're only here for another day after this, and we're leaving tomorrow, so hardly really. But yeah, it's been a good day. This person's looking at me. They're gonna be like, you gotta get out of here, dude. You gotta get out of here. Maybe he will say that. Maybe he won't. He looked at me. No, I don't think. No, he's just a landscaping guy. He may be coming over here though, so we might get ourselves moving and a grooving. We'll see. We'll just wait for him to say something. If he says something, we'll get going. He parked right here. So I think what we will do is, I think I will pause for now, and I will pick up with you another time, all right? So I'll talk to you soon. And just like that, we are back in Colorado at my desk. I know you guys are happy to be home, but we're moving soon. Okay, we're moving soon, so gotta be prepared. Sometime in August or possibly very early September, depending on where my head's at, is when our first Georgia podcast will be. Oh my goodness, dude, look at this hair, man. This is rough. Look, shorter podcast today. Let's bring you through the last few minutes of that podcast there. First time I've really filmed in public like that. And I could feel it. I could definitely feel it. I was a bit anxious the entire podcast, obviously. I think that's, maybe that's not obvious. Maybe that's just me projecting in a way. But I was anxious, and I got anxious when basically this landscaping guy in the little golf cart came over. He was on his little golf cart, and he pulled up into like the little area I was in. He was just out of frame. And I was like, if he's gonna like, I doubt he's gonna say something, but if he did, I don't really want to deal with that. And then two, it was, what if I'm in his way? And I wanted my own space. I made a point to go somewhere far away from people. And that was nice. I had a few people look at me throughout the podcast, which I didn't really mind. It made me like slightly anxious here and there, but part of it was kind of cool to me that people saw me filming. I'm like, what if they think I'm doing something because I'm right outside the film studio? That's was one of the thoughts my brain was going through. But yeah, I mean, it was a great trip, and I'm kind of sorry I cut it off short on you there, but I think we can understand that. That's where my head was at. A lot was going through my brain that entire trip, and I wanted to do a podcast, and I hope I delivered for you. I'm really glad I did it. It was a lot of fun for me to do. It was therapeutic in its own way for sure. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited to do podcasts outside again. Really, it was just my ultimate goal to do a podcast while I was there. So I'm glad I did that because I bring a camera with me pretty much on every plane trip I take, and I pretty much never use it. Part of it's because I want to stay in the moment. The other part is I'm just like not really sure what I'm doing, you know. And you can see in like the little B-roll footage I have there, it's very shaky. My camera is shaky. I do have shaky hands, and I don't have a gimbal, but I think it's also just like my camera's built-in stabilizer is like terrible. It's not good. That you can see it just looks shaky. So that's why I use this camera for this now. I I really should sell this camera. I don't take pictures, and I could probably use this towards getting another camera that's even just for now. It would be nice to have like a slightly better camera because I can't take this camera out. I hate it. I hate taking this camera out and trying to film because the footage never looks good. It looks good when it's still, but that's about it. So whatever, we'll see. That's a conversation for another time there. Um, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. It felt good to, get back on it again. I felt like episode 10, I wanted to make it special. And so I flew to Georgia for my 10th episode of the podcast. It's not true. But, yeah, I mean, rest of the trip was good. At the end there, I was talking about Chick-fil-A. We did go to a Chick-fil-A. We went to, I forget what it's called. It's like called Truett's Luau or something like that. And it's basically the only Hawaiian themed Chick-fil-A restaurant. There's only one. And I looked up on my phone, like, where's the nearest Chick-fil-A? And so our phone brought us there, and we're like, this isn't Chick-fil-A. Like, they must have gone out of business. What is this? What's Truett's Luau? And I look, and I'm like, oh, there's like a drive-through there. And my immediate thought was, oh, like, there was a Chick-fil-A here at one point, but now this company is using the drive-through. But then I looked at it, and I was like, it kind of looks like Chick-fil-A's menu. I feel like there's a few discrepancies on there. It's hard for me to see. It was a little blurry, just far away, but I was like, it looks like it. And so we're like, I think this is a Chick-fil-A. And so I looked it up on my phone, and sure enough, it was. We walk in, and basically, there's like two restaurants within this Chick-fil-A. There's the Chick-fil-A, and then there's like luxury Chick-fil-A where you sit down, you have a waitress or a waiter, and there's like slightly different stuff on the menu. We didn't do that. We didn't do the sit down thing. We just wanted Chick-fil-A. But no one greeted us when we walked in, so we went over, ordered our food, and they said, go sit anywhere and we'll bring your food out to you. So we were like, okay, we're going to sit anywhere then, if that's what you're saying. And so we went into like the nice part of the restaurant because both sides of the restaurant were definitely different. You had like the fast food side and then like the nice side, but we wouldn't have known because no one greeted us when we came in. It just looked like there was two different sides. So we're like, yeah, we're just gonna go over to the nice side and eat in the nice area. And then eventually some waitresses come up to us and like, did anyone let you in? Like, who sat you? And we were like, nobody sat us. We went over and ordered our food, and then we didn't even know where to order it. We just kind of found it, and they're like, they just weren't very good at their jobs, frankly. And most of the time, I'm not going to attribute that to the people's fault. A lot of times, I'm like, whoever's managing is not very good at what they do. So we'll put it on the manager, but I don't know. They could have just been bad at their jobs. I don't know. because no one greeted us. We didn't know where to order. We heard stuff going on, so we went towards that way. And sure enough, there was like the fast food side of the restaurant. And they're like, you can eat here if you want. And we're like, okay, so we'll just eat our fast food here. And they're like, well, but it's like a sit down restaurant. So we're like, okay, yeah, then we'll just go to the other area. They're like, okay, well, you don't have to. You can eat here if you want. We're like, okay, then I guess we will. And then they were like, okay, it's a sit down restaurant though. And we were like, what are you trying to say right now? And like such a misunderstanding that I explained that very well. Let me say, I explained that very well. That's what happened. So, I mean, you'd be like, what do you want me to do? I just tell me what you want me to do. And that's what I'm going to do. If I can't sit here, I already ordered my fast food. And we said that. We finally said it. We're like, well, we already ordered. Like, I think I was pretty obvious, but they're like, well, we already ordered. And they're like, oh. We're like, yeah, we'll just go over there. And they're like, yeah, just go over there. Now, for a specialty Chick-fil-A, right? You think like, oh, like, it's the only Hawaiian-themed Chick-fil-A out there. You'd think it would be kind of like specialty, good service, higher, better customer service. No. These people weren't rude. They just were also bad at their job. And like, when you go to Chick-fil-A, you can get a frosted lemonade. And occasionally there'd be not specialties. This one, they had a frosted pineapple one. And that was good. That was like one of the specialty parts of the at Chick-fil-A. That one did like regular everything, except they also did a burger with pineapple on it, which that sounds disgusting to me. They also did a frozen. There's like pineapple plus fruit punch, like a frosted pineapple fruit punch, and then the frosted pineapple, whatever it was. Which to my mom and I tasted a lot more like a pina colada than it did pineapple. So I don't know. Didn't say there was any coconut there. I certainly tasted coconut. It was more like vanilla and pineapple, I guess is probably what I was tasting. Anyways, that's besides the point. I think there might have been one or two other like specialty things in the fast food area. I just got a Chick-fil-A sandwich and some fries. But yeah, so we get our food. Bro doesn't give us our like frosted whatever. So we're like, okay, wait a second. I go up, hey man, we still need to get our 2 frosted whatevers. Yeah, I'll get that in just a second, which isn't what you should say. Oh yeah, right away is probably what you should say, or delegate to somebody else. There was plenty of people to delegate to. It just seemed like the guy up front didn't know how to delegate. He was just taking orders, and they were kind of like relying on him to do everything because he was packing the bags with food. He was, taking people's orders. It's like there should have been more people up there. Anyways. Sit down, 5 minutes pass. We're already eating at this point. My mom's like, we need those, brother. So he goes and gets it, comes back, brings one. And my mom's like, I said 2. So he goes back and brings another. So that's my little Chick-fil-A story for you. It tasted good. It's Chick-fil-A. But come on. Like, what kind of service is that? And I'm sorry, even if your manager is a bad manager, just use some common sense, brother. Delegate. Dude, like, you just gotta, like, come on. Like, I don't know. I work in fast food, so I think I get to say this now. It's not that hard to do. It's just not that hard to, hey, I need to really step away for a second. Or I need to be like, hey, blah, blah, blah. I need you to go get me some shakes, man. You just have to do it at some point when things get busy. So, I don't know. Bro wasn't great at his job. Manager clearly was pretty awful at his job. I don't know. There we go. Those are my 3 little sasses for you. But yeah, I also wanted to tell you one more thing before I stop the podcast. Well, 2 things. Firstly, I don't think I had brought it up in this podcast. But the Football League for me to play in didn't end up working out. And that was pretty disappointing for me. Like I said, put posters up around the city. Didn't work, and even if it did work, one of the head guys was like, hey, we're not going to be able to do the league this year because the football field you would have used anyways, we were going to cancel your real league regardless if there was enough people or not because we got to put softball there. Like, what? So anyways, it just didn't work. It got close to working as far as the number of teams. I think we could have pulled it off probably, but then there was that as well. So that was really disappointing to me and pretty sad. I wanted to play with my brother. I thought it would have been a great way to spend time with him and just something we never got to do. We grew up playing football, but we never got to play on an organized team together. So we'll see. I think down the line it's going to happen. I believe that. But didn't happen this time. But I have started coaching. Our first game was today, and we won. And that's pretty cool to me because I've been coaching for 4 years now as a head coach. And another, like, basically 1.5 before that. So since I was about 16, 15 years old, I think. 15 is when I started. So about 5-ish years now I've been coaching, 4 years as a head coach. And that's probably about 6, I want to say, 5 or 6 different teams I've coached because there's 2 leagues per year. And I didn't coach every season of the year. We're 2 seasons, right? Sometimes I would only do 1 and not 2. Anyways, I've never won my first game of the season. I just never have. In my first season as a head coach, I got my team to the championship game, but we didn't win our first game that year. And came back, got better. I always win my second game. So if this is any indication, I'm gonna lose my second game. I'm just kidding. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. That's for sure. But it was really cool. I had a couple of guys back this year. Half of my guys came back. Half of them I don't have anymore. So we have 5 new guys, 5 of the old guys. And that let us pick up a little bit easier. But then, even then, it's just you have to shake off the rest, teach the new guys, your playbook and whatnot. But it was a close game. 13-7 was the final score. And it was a close defensive game, the whole game. In the first half, 7 points were scored by my team. We had a pick 6. If you don't know what that is, that's a touchdown that basically the other team throws to you. They're trying to throw to another guy, but your defense intercepts the ball, and they go back and score a touchdown. So 7-0, that was all that was scored. And then the second half comes. The other team ends up scoring. It was a tie game. Then we got the ball back, drove down the field. We scored, but we missed our extra point opportunity. So that's only 6 points there. So 13-7. That's the final score. But the other team got it back with about like a minute left. They started driving down the field. Then with 17 seconds left, there was a timeout. And I was like, we just got locked down here. And they were talking about, I said at the beginning of the game, where I work, they have like these little like paper hats there that people can get. And they're like, at the beginning of the game, they're like, Coach, if we win, you have to bring us those paper hats, which it's just funny, the little things kids and middle schoolers pick up on and just like care about. And I was like, you got it. That's a deal. If we win, I gotcha. And so it's a minute left. It's so close. It's 17 seconds left. They're right there. We have to get a stop. And they're like, the thing that's hyping them up is they're like, guys, we have to get those hats. And I just thought that was the cutest thing ever. I thought it was like so sweet. I was like, that's exactly right. Play for those hats. And I coach middle schoolers. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like little kids, but I thought that was great. They were really excited. They really wanted to win. So it's last play. Boom. Quarterback drops back. There's a guy going deep down the field. They throw it. Boom. An amazing catch, by the way. That kid had a great catch. He catches it. I'm like, oh, shoot. They're going to score. He gets past one guy. Then my one kid, I'll give him a shout out because he always asks for one. I'm not going to say his full name because I don't think his parents would like that. But Liam Mann, that was an amazing flagpole. I have to say, he gets a flagpole there right at the end, and the guys weren't even really hardly celebrating yet. On the sideline, we're like, just like we were every play after a flag gets pulled, like, hey, good job. But then everyone's like hustling back to the line because we think there's going to be another play, but they couldn't get it off in time, and that was it. And we won. Everybody ran over to the sideline, and it was really cool. It was a really cool moment. Liam and I chest bumped each other. He's a pretty tall kid, I would say, so that's how that works. I'm still a good amount taller than these guys, but anyways, that was really fun. So Liam, I'm gonna tell you about this. I hope you're watching this part. I guarantee you you're not going to watch the rest of the podcast, and that's fine. You don't have the attention span, I guess, but maybe you can prove me wrong and go back and watch the rest of the podcast. That's what you should do. Just saying. Anyways, that's really all I have got for you guys. I'm feeling good today. I'm glad to be back in Colorado, but I'm also really looking forward to my future in Georgia. It's going to be exciting. So, yep, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you for watching yet another episode of Before I Go, the podcast for before I leave this earth. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.